2022 marks 50 years since Peter Brock's first win at Bathurst, driving an LJ Torana XU1. To celebrate this milestone, local Group N Torana racer Mick wishes to hold a Group N Torana only race at this year's Baskerville Historic meeting in September. Mick recently set the fastest Group N Torana lap time around Baskerville with a 60.0, and in doing so is the new benchmark for other Torana drivers to beat. It is anticipated some of Australia's quickest Group N Toranas will make the trip to Baskerville to decide Australia's quickest Group N Torana. Although competition on the track will no doubt be fierce, Mick is more about having fun off the track with like-minded racers and will host a barbecue and get-together for all Torana racers during the historic meeting. So a bit about Mick's car. Mick bought the car as a bronze-coloured rolling shell in 1997 and had it painted in its now distinctive bright orange. Mick initially competed in various club days before running as an invited Group N car from 1999 to 2001. The car was then converted to full Group N specs and has run pretty much every year since. Mick has won 4 state Group N championships and competed in Targa Rest Point 3 times, with a highest placing of second, with fellow Torana competitor Lee Chaplin as his navigator. Mick has raced his Torana at Winton, Bathurst 3 times, and has run with the Bianti muscle cars, now Touring Car Masters, in support races for the V8 supercars. There has also been some bad times though, like the time Mick had to re-skin the side of the Torana after the brake fluid boiled at Symmons Plains and he ended up in the tyre wall. But none of his success and great times would have been possible without the support of his family and his crew, Phil Brown, Mick Truman and Dazza. Despite Mick's recent impressive Baskerville lap time, his car doesn't have all the bells and whistles. Group N historic touring car rules restrict competitors to using cars that raced in Australia prior to 1973 and limits modifications to technology that was available at the time. Mick's Torana is powered by a heavily modified Holden 202 cubic inch straight 6 with triple 45mm Webers and puts out around 330 horsepower, although the car has only ever been dynoed twice in 22 years. The front end uses Volvo 4-piston calipers, a common upgrade for most Group N cars. However, this is where the exotic upgrades end. Mick's Torana is very basic, but it does the basics well and is generally very reliable. His front sway bar setup is ancient but seems to work, and the rear end is pretty well standard. The rear shocks are $800 Viking coilovers, just without the coilover spring. You also won't find an adjustable panhard bar or Watts link. Mick has simply found the sweet spot from running the car for 22 years. Mick says most of the suspension development was done around spring rates, and at the moment they are spot on for how he likes it. Further enhancements were made with reliability in mind, including a separate gear stick for reverse gear in the M21 gearbox. This essentially locks reverse out, so it can't accidentally be selected in the heat of racing. Mick also has 2 fuel pumps, the second activated if there is a failing with the primary pump, a lesson he learned at a trip to Bathurst when a fuel pump died mid-race. The Group N Torana only race at the 2022 Baskerville Historics is going to see Mick's Torana and a host of other of Tassie's best Toranas on home soil take on a fleet of high-tech and well-developed mainland Toranas to decide who has the fastest Group N Torana in Australia. This will no doubt be worth the price of admission alone. See you there.